Hi, beautiful people, and yes, I'm Sisian from Manifest__. Sisian. If you have not as yet, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click on the the notification button as well, right? So today we're speaking about spiritual health. Okay, spiritual health is very important. Okay, a lot of people, or most people, were taught globally. We taught that we need to focus on our physical health. We need to focus on our physical being. You understand? We go to gyms and all those things. Okay, and then we leave church for spirituality or whatever, or religion. Okay, we leave that, and we don't understand that our spiritual health is actually your own individual choice. Okay, your choice to work on yourself. Okay, firstly, what is spiritual health? Spiritual health is a state of being. It's a state of being where you have stable, deep sense of belonging, right? You belong. You belong. Spiritual health is a feeling of alignment and connection to the divine and to yourself. That's what it is, right? Spiritual health can also be somebody who goes to church and they're very, very into their practice in the church, whatever it is, and they, they immerse themselves into it. They read the Bible, they read the Quran, whatever it is, and they do all the things that need to be done. They're like pious people. You know what I mean? It can also be that as well. But at the end of the day, it's not something within you that you're doing when it comes to religion. It's something outside of you. Okay, you're going to a building, you're going to a monument, you're going to a synagogue, you're going to a, right? Yet when it comes to spiritual health, right, it's best served when you see yourself as the synagogue, as their temple. Your body is your temple, right? This has been said a lot in religion, that your body is divine, and it is divine. So spiritual health is about you also just going within yourself, right? So the core elements of spiritual health, what are they? A sense of purpose, number one, where you feel a belonging, where you feel a purpose. I have a purpose. My life is good. I have a purpose. I have an idea. Maybe I'm not totally clear of exactly what it is, but I have a great idea. This is where I belong. I belong in this family, and this is my purpose, to bring joy and happiness and wealth into this family. Or I belong to myself, and this is my purpose. I'm bringing joy and health. Or I'm belonging to a group of people. You get what I'm trying to say? And this is what we are doing together. There's a belonging. Like, for example, they call them the light workers and stuff like that, right? I belong to the light workers. And our job is to actually help humanity. There's a sense of belonging. There's a divine, this is my role. I belong here on earth. This is how I connect with the universe. This is how I connect with people. This is how I connect. I am worthy. I am worthy. I love myself. I have a place in this life, in this world. That's what it's all about, right? Then number two is that connection. Connection is a key word here, actually. When you feel that connection, you're drawn to do certain things. You're drawn to a certain perception, that connection. Thank you. Oh, you Mexican? No, I'm not Mexican, love. I'm actually South African. Nice to meet you, John. What's wrong with your hand? Oh, hand. Oh, I got hurt. I got hurt years ago. So yeah, it's kind of partially disabled. Yeah, whatever, right? Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, so that sense of belonging is important. Very, very important. Oh, ooh, poor baby. Sorry. Yes, not a problem, babes. Not a problem at all. Life is good, guy. Life is good no matter what. Anyway, it's been such a long time ago it happened. I got hurt. A long story, right? But today we're talking about spiritual health, okay? Spiritual health is very important because it helps us, it gives us a sense of purpose to get up every morning and know that I'm playing a role in this world, right? Spiritual health is not only about the Sunday worship, it's not religion. You know what I mean? It's not about going to the synagogue. It's about you living with a purpose, that you have that connection with source. You know yourself. You know what I mean? You even doing the practices. Like you have a ritual practice that you actually do. And the word ritual is not demonic. People have this idea when word ritual, oh my God, or demonic. No, rituals is something you do all the time. It's something that you do continuously. It's a routine, right? Basically. So back to what I'm saying. So there's a connection, okay? A connection that connects you to the divine, to the universe, to everybody else. There's that oneness that you also finally get to feel at the end of your process as you are evolving and learning new things, right? Then there's inner peace. Inner peace is also important for spiritual health. Having that inner peace, knowing that I belong somewhere, knowing that when I speak power. Now the manifestation comes from there. You understand? People think that manifestation is about only acquiring all this wealth and having this and that. Spiritual manifestation is also about you manifesting this life, this relationship with the divine source, okay, and owning it as well. And then it's also transcendence when you transcend. Now, when you transcend, now you actually are going to the subtle areas of the existence, right? Your frequency raises, and have you seen like when shamans do it, and then they sing and they hit the drum and they go into a trance, and then they go and experience other realms. I'm trying. That's a very active way of doing it. But then you can also do that in meditation as well. You can do the meditation even with your breathing. You use what pranayama breathing can also put you into states of transcendence as well, where you feel that oneness and togetherness. So spiritual health is very, very important for us. Okay, so we're living in duality here. We live in the physical, in the domain, and in the in the mundane domain of life, right? And then we live in the spiritual high frequency side of things, right? But most of us are tuning only into the mundane, the physical world. We're only tuning in that area, where you need to pitch up for work, you need to do things. Why black why black dress? I love black because black is empowering, black is my color. Black is a shade, actually not even a color, it's a shade. Black is actually a combination of all the different colors. Actually, if you think about it, so it's a totality, and I love the shade of black. I think it's awesome. That's why I like it. I try and wear black as much as possible. Actually, I know they try to demonize it and relate it to darkness and evil. No, no, it's not. It's not there at all, right? Evil is a frequency, not a color. Evil is a separation from love. Evil is a separation from self. You understand? That's what evil it is. That's what evil is, not a color, right? So as I was saying, she also love black. Me too. From New Zealand. Okay, guys, a fun practice. Let's do this. Let's play this game, okay? I know that Paulette told me she's from New Zealand. Can you all like type in which country you're tuning from at this moment? Where are you at this moment now in real life, real time? This is exciting. I want to see how many countries I'm actually tuning into, how many frequencies I'm actually connecting to. Guys, that means there's something that we have in common that's actually connecting us. There's something that there's a reason why we connected, right? There's a very good reason why. Yeah, my voice is deep. Damn, my voice is so deep. Sorry. It's the way I am, guy. It's just the way I am. My voice is like that. I'm very like, yeah. I definitely didn't sing soprano. No, I never sing soprano in school. No, I got a deep voice, guy. That's where my voice is. It's deep. Yeah, I think it's my spirit that was my guides or male guides. Right? I only have one female guide. You get my point, but all my other guides are male. So my power, because you said your power is normally in your throat, right? So my power is very excellent at the end of the day, right? But I've been balancing it out, right? Very important to balance your energies out, right? Especially with divine phenomenon. Divine phenomenon is about the balance, right? Yeah. And that's another thing with spiritual health. It's about all those things. We're called having a balance and not only uh feeding from or only pulling from one energy. You need to actually balance it out, right? So spiritual health is very important. Naira, hi, how are you? Guys, which countries are you at this moment? Where are y'all from? Where are y'all streaming or joining me from? Which countries? Because I'm in South Africa, sunny side South Africa, not Mexico. Not Mexico, right? So yeah. So back to spirituality, right? Now spiritual health is important because spiritual health helps you also uh, be better in your mundane life. Spiritual health or spiritual balance actually helps you to also pitch up better in your physical world. because spiritual health is very grounding as well. When you have spiritual health, you have a belonging, you have a purpose, and there's many purposes, but there's one core purpose that we all have, and that purpose is to love and be loved. That purpose is to enjoy this game of life. That purpose is to have peace, right? Pieces for every person, right? See, the other stuff that you do in the mundane world of the jobs, and my purpose is a doctor, my purpose is this, my purpose is a lawyer. No, that's your job. That's how you make the money in this game of life, okay? That's how you actually um exchanging your skills and your abilities for money. It's not really your purpose. Your purpose is grounded on your spiritual contract. What is your spiritual contract? Okay, so this normally happens later sometimes, and sometimes for people early on, where they're actually getting in connection with a spiritual purpose. Okay, it comes early, sometimes in your 20s, sometimes even when you're a teenager, people have awakenings, right? And sometimes it happens later on in your 40s, 30s, whatever. You get even 50s, even 60s, depending on the spirit and the choices that the person is making and the spirit is making as they're going through life. Right now, it's very important for us to understand that religion is dogma. Religion is control. Religion is only, it's something that's part of the game itself, right? But it's also important part as well, because religion also teaches you what is God, the God thing. But it also teaches you the worship stuff. The worship program is within the religion. Worship program can has been causing a lot of problems, because worship program speaks about you worshiping something outside of you, not owning your power. You don't have to worship something outside of you. You know that there is this thing, right? But you don't have to worship it. Right? For example, the concept is that in spirituality, we all know that God is within us, not outside of us. What's outside of us is the politics. It's the mundane world, right? Within us is the power, the true power, divine source, and we part of the divine source, because we are a spark of divine source, basically, right? So if you like it, thank you for liking my this topic, this live. It's good that you actually enjoying it, right? So that's what I'm talking about today. We understanding the difference between the two, and also understand that religion is not necessarily wrong or right. It's just what it is. Okay. There comes a time in your spiritual part where you just accept things for what they are, and you stop putting labels of right and wrong, and understand it's just a program. You understand it is what it is. And there's millions, thousands of programs in the game of life, right? Millions of them. This is what we need to understand. Thousands of them. I mean, everything from the relationships on its own, marriage on its own, um, even like the addictions and the drug story, or even pedophilia is a program on its own, and child abuse and all those things, like everything here is here for a purpose, because every single soul is wanting to experience different things. Okay, and then we are pushing and putting resistance on everything, right? Now we go into the field of controversy, right? Because people won't agree with what I'm saying. That suffering is part of the game, right? Now, when you're putting too much resistance against the suffering, right, you actually cause more suffering. You see, that's the trick here. The more you focus on something and put resistance and push, it more it grows, because your focus is there. We all want to be activists against pedophilia, activists against crime. We all want to be activists over something. So what we do, we're growing these things unconsciously, not knowing that we're actually growing them, thinking that we're actually doing good, instead of us focusing on it with love. Obviously you can't actually focus on dark things with love, right? So you see where the trick is. So we're actually playing a game and working against ourselves, right? That's how it is. That's why I'm saying that at the end of the day, when you study spirituality and go into it and live in it and live it as a lifestyle, and ask the right questions. Don't be afraid to knock on the doors. The doors that seem scary, knock on those doors, because the scariness is because you don't know what it is yet. But when you knock on a door and you understand what it is, and you say, "Oh, it is what it is. It's nothing harmful. It's just a perception." Like Satanism, being a Satanist. Like I was for years. When I was in religion, I was for years afraid of people that are satanic. Right? I really didn't understand I really thought that there's this devil and it's a real thing. I had no idea that it's only a concept, it's only a perception, it's only an assumption, it's only now at the moment it's actually a thing. It's a vibration because people believe in it so much, and it's a separation from the dark, from the lights. You understand the lights, love basically. So demons have separated themselves from divine source, right? They feed from divine source. We feed from divine source. Everybody's feeding from divine source. But when you stop and separate, then you start feeding from not source anymore. You feed it from other people, from the pain, that conflicting pain on them, and you feed from their pain. You understand? Because that's what you believe in, right? So when you believe in the light, you feed from the light, and you become more full of light. Okay, that's what it's all about. It's not something like physically real. It's a concept, it's a perception, it's a belief system. Right? For example, if you go and study further about satanism, that practice, that belief system, it's quite interesting because there's different two major sects. Yeah, I could have forgot the guy's name now because I wasn't actually planning on actually speaking about that. But anyway, that's what it's about. So it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to say, oh my God, oh yeah, what, yeah, no, the devil's gonna kill me. Number one, the devil is a creation of Christianity. I repeat myself. The devil is a creation of Christianity, and the people that believe more in it and speak more about it and accuse other people of being engaging with the devil or Christians because it's a Christian creation, right? Basically, it's not something that's always has been there. It's a belief of separation from the divine source, from light. That's what it is. And it feeds from pain, it feeds from destruction, chaos, it feeds from separation. Again, the story goes, it says that divine source wants you to experience itself in totality, in the light and in the dark. That's the concepts of the dark side, right? Dark magic, satanic activity, and all those things, right? And then there's a story of Lucifer, which is kind of confusing a lot of people, even myself as well. Who is Lucifer and all those things, right? But anyway, back to spiritual health. Spiritual health is about you learning these things and not being afraid, right? Because fear is low frequency, it drops your frequency. You're not being afraid to ask the questions, do the research, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid because there's nothing to be afraid of. Life is full of wonderful information, wonderful experiences. Okay? Very important. Very, very important. Somebody's from South Africa. Oh, Papa Joe, how are you, Papa Joe? I hope you're doing good. You're from my home, South Africa. I wonder where you're from, Durban, Johannesburg, which region or which province? Are you from Durban? Oh, cool. I'm also from Durban, Papa Joe. I'm also from Durban. Right? We can break it down even further, but anyway, yeah. Welcome to my live. Welcome, Canadian. Someone from Canada. Just thank you. Greetings to Canada as well. Okay, any other countries? People say it's fun. This is fun, guys. Knowing people, knowing I'm connecting with so many different people, right? Just me and me. I don't see myself as important, right? But I'm excited because I'm meeting all these people, and I hope that what I'm saying is actually bringing value to you guys, okay? What I'm saying is adding to you guys, not taking from your body, adding. Okay, so knowledge is key. Do not be afraid to open those doors you need to open. Knock on those doors you need to knock on. For you to ask even about yourself, who am I? What's my purpose? What I'm supposed to do here? Find your own answers. Because what I said is what I found. Right? So you need to find out your own answers. Because I said, what is the purpose? I said your purpose is to love, to have peace, to enjoy. Enjoyment is important. We did say that, just we don't remember it. We don't remember before we came here that we said we're going to enjoy this lifetime. We will do all the things differently in this life so that we're able to actually level ourselves up, right? So yeah, we have our higher self and our oversoul waiting for us to be triggered, right? Waiting for us to be who we should be, basically. And yeah, we're sitting stuck in the program. We're stuck in the program of the game. We're stuck in the lies of the matrix. You get my point? We're stuck here, and then we're afraid to open the door and ask, okay, I was born in this religion, okay, and I was taught that I have to follow this path, Okay, else there's hell and all those things. Okay, so when you start learning and unpacking these things, hell is also now a perception. It's not a real tangible place. That's why not every single person, when they have those near-death experiences death, or experiences hell in their death experience. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you believe in it now, then you believe that you were a sinner. So mostly people that believe they are sinners believe in hell, right? Because it goes together. Okay. But if you believe you are not a sinner, that you are divine source, that you are pure light, right? When you pass or have an experience of going on the other end, it won't be of hell, guys. It never will be, because it's not related to your perception. Okay, so like that's the kind. Even people that are atheists, they don't have different experiences when they have the near death experiences. So these are the things that we need to understand. That everything is about where you're focusing and what you believe in. What you believe in now on this earth, where you are now, is very important, because it speaks to everything, how your life is going to be here. And what's nice about the gift of choices that you continuously have can change. Choosing to change your perceptions, choosing to adapt other ideologies, choosing to see things differently. We have a whole lifetime of that, right? So Spirit says that you people have a whole lifetime of that. So don't get stuck. Don't get stuck in one way, in one part. Open yourself to learning more, right? Don't get enmeshed in your human birth religion too much. Take what it's taught you, right, and move on. This was my personal experience when I was in the church as a born again Christian. You know, that whole drama, right? I came to a point where I said, okay, what next? What next? Okay, I know all these things, but I had questions. Why is the world still like this? Why is it even the pastors are doing this? And why is, I was asking too many questions. So I decided to step away from it and decided to release myself from that and cut myself from that practice. And I started now doing research, opening the doors, knocking the doors, reading books, doing all sorts of things to try and find out exactly who am I, what am I, what is religion, what is Christianity, where it's coming from, how do these three Abrahamic religions actually link together? What's the origins of Christianity, the modern Christianity, basically? Because you cannot tell me that what was practiced in the time of Jesus, Yeshua, is the same now, or it's been the same that's been practiced and taught as modern religion. It's not the same. It can never be the same, because it was hijacked. You understand? It cannot be the same. You see, so these are the things that I also started realizing. Ask the right questions and you get the answers, right? And don't be afraid. Is one very, very important. Spiritual health is also taking ownership. Own your shit. Own who you are, right? Own your perception, and stop pretending to be something else when you know what you are. You know what you believe in. Remember, what your worldview is who you are, basically. Blah blah blah. Thank you. I like that. This is Da. So how are you, my dear? Hope you're doing good. Anyway, we've got this practice where we're saying people are writing and typing in exactly which country they're from, right? Which country are you from, sir? Is it Dasa? Hope you are. Anyway, let me go on. So this is all about that, right? Knowing exactly who you are. I love it because I will get trolls, and I love trolls because trolls also make things interesting. Right, you from India. Nice to meet you, sir. So you actually will relate to what I'm saying, or you just find it so boring, you be da da da. Anyway, yeah, this is what I'm saying. So yes, ma'am. You okay? Cool, no problem. So anyway, welcome to my live. We're talking about spirituality and spiritual health. So we dabbled into now knowing and understanding who you are and asking the right questions. You don't understand. You don't understand what love, what my love, what you don't understand. Okay. Anyway, that's what it's all about. Understanding who you are. Right. As I said, spiritual health has got three. Or I think it's like is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas that I can actually mention. Right. You can go ahead and do your own research. What is spiritual health? It's very important to do your own research, right? Whenever you get information, do your own research and find out, because you need to test the spirits. You understand? And also add on, and normally what happens is if something is interesting to you and attract attracted to more information around that topic, right? It opens a lot of questions in your own consciousness where you can go and ask, those questions, your higher self, even go and research, because not everything is on Google, mind you. Not everything is on ChatGTP or whatever you're using. Not everything is there, right? There's certain information can only be gotten from the higher source, your higher self. You understand? Your guides and stuff like that. So spiritual health is having a sense of purpose and meaning in your life. What is your meaning in your life? Besides, I go to a job and this is what I am. I am a technologist, I'm a IT specialist. That's the mundane, right? Now what is the energetic spiritual side of it, the meaning that you came for? What is written in your purpose, in your spiritual contracts, you understand? And it always goes with your psychology, not just psychology or astrology, goes with your astrology. So you can go do your birth charts and all those things, dabble in those things and try and find out, you know what I mean? Just maybe for curiosity, maybe you'll find information is very interesting as well. Okay, very important. Astrology is important. Knowing like what is going on with you, your birth chart, what you're supposed to be doing and all those things. Okay, where are your gifts, you know? It's nice to know like how the stars were aligned at your time of your birth and stuff like that, because that also speaks into your strengths and stuff like that. Knowing your gifts, knowing your weaknesses is also important. Knowing what areas where you need to work, right? That's owning yourself, right? And also connecting to the higher source, the higher source, right? And also connecting to yourself and connecting with others. Because at the end of the day, we didn't come here to experience isolation. We came to experience unity, oneness. We came here at the end of the day to first have the fragmentation with the programming of the 7 years, right? After birth and the veil of forgiveness that we have. Okay, and then we get to experience the I, the ego, the I self. Okay, we forget to experience just me, what I want, what I need, what is mine. You get to experience that. Then later on you then evolve into asking more questions, and then you get a lot of answers that are confusing and also frightening. A lot of people, they go through a spiritual awakening and then they stop before before they even get into it, because they're afraid of what people are going to say. They're afraid of what society is going to say. You understand? That's what it is. Now I understand, man. Okay, cool. Now you understand. We're talking about spirituality here, love. We're talking about self-awareness. We're talking about us understanding ourselves on a spiritual level. Not only me, the person that goes to this job every single day, me, the father of two children, me, the skater or the social media influencer. We're not on talking about. We're talking about the other subtle parts of who you are, because that needs to be balanced as well. That's your mental health, okay? And your mental health is linked to your spiritual health. Knowing who you are, those two speak to each other very much. They speak to each other. You cannot really separate psychology to spirituality. You can't. And I love psychology, and I love spirituality as well, because at the end of the day, that's the totality of who we are. It's the everything, basically. How we get things here, how we manifest these things here, how we love, how we choose to love, how we choose to hate, and all those things. It's all about that energy, the spiritual side of things. So it's very important to know those things, right? So then there's the inner peace. Inner peace is a big thing. You need to find inner peace. Without inner peace, you can actually have a lot of problems on the mental capacity. You can actually have depression. You don't have inner peace and stability, because inner peace gives you stability. Inner peace makes you feel safe in your body. When people are not feeling safe in their bodies, right? They lashing against their bodies, they hate their bodies like that. You're not feeling a peace in it. You don't even like your shape, you don't even like your hair, you don't even like your eyes. You don't have no relationship with your body. And the body is apparently very important in the game. Your body is your battery. Your body is also your subconscious mind. Your body is linked to your subconscious mind because it's part of it, right? Because it's memory, is holding memory, right? So as I said in my TikTok uh, live yesterday, even yesterday, I think I mentioned it, that water carries memory, and we are made of mostly water, bones, and flesh, right? And the chemicals or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, we are water. Most of what we made of is water, so it keeps memory, right? So that's why I'm calling it a subconscious mind, okay? And we keep it in our muscles, right? We keep it in our subconscious mind. The subconscious basically is your whole body, right? You can say that, because think of this. when you remember some painful experience, how do you feel in your body? You're not only feeling that thing in your mind, you're feeling it in your body. Sometimes you feel that tenses, your body will tense up, you know what I mean? It'll tense up and you feel that pain. And sometimes you can even be so afraid and even shit yourself. That's because your body is also part of your subconscious mind. It's the fear. I mean, if you see something the first time, you're normally not really afraid, right? But if you have memory of something very painful linked to that thing that you're seeing, it triggers the subconscious mind, and then your body will react next. Okay. If I'm highly full of anxiety, right, I actually feel sick in my stomach, and sometimes you'll even have a loose stool because of the fact that you are so your amen. I can't even explain it, but it's a biological reaction, and yes, it's linked to the memory, subconscious mind of that fear of falling. Maybe you fell some other time, and now you're in the state where you're gonna fall, and that fear, you freeze. You now remember there's a whole drama of the freeze, the fight, right? Or is it the freeze? You run, or you freeze, or you fight. Yes, those options. Like your body has an in what inbuilt mechanisms to deal with these type of things, right? But now when you're continuously living in that fear, continuously living in that stress, all has been triggered to the fight, to the freeze. It becomes your core response to all triggers that make you fearful. Then you're not really operating consciously, you're operating subconsciously. You're not being present. That's why it's important for you to know these things and work on yourself. What's my triggers? What triggers me, and why is it triggering me, and how does it feel when I'm triggered with fear? Right? Why am I feeling this? Is this a real threat, or it's just a memory? Or I have a chance and opportunity to actually learn to react differently to this fear. You understand? Because when we're not releasing the past, because subconscious mind keeps everything there to help us as a mechanism to help the body to actually deal with stress and trauma and all the other stuff, even joy and good things. Your subconscious mind, all your memory of happiness is there. Nothing goes wasted, nothing goes away. Everything is kept there, right? That's what it's all about. Hi, Adam. How are you, my dear? Where are you from? We are actually having this interesting practice of saying where we're from, right? When you join the live, just say where you're from. Hi, Adam. I'm Adam. I'm from this country, right? Because I'm trying to see how many people are connecting and how I'm actually, uh, in my frequency is connecting with different people and how we all connecting, because it is like that, right? So it's quite interesting and funny to see different people, different countries joining in. Okay. And guys, why are you so silent? Don't be silent. Right? If you get something to say if you have a question, right? Just say if you disagree and maybe you want to correct me on certain things, go ahead, right? Because that's what it is. It's that interaction, you know what I mean? I love interaction, interacting with people. Right. Anyway, I'm Sissy, life coach and motivational speaker for those that don't know. Right. My channel is very new, very fresh, very little followers and subscribers. However, I'm building it up, right? I'm from South Africa. This is an African channel, right? So I'm speaking mostly about spirituality, about self-development and leveling up, and a bit about manifestation or creation. Okay, basically. So now we're speaking about spiritual health, right? Basically how important it is. The mundane life is good, yes. That's how we make the money, and that's how we show up in the world on the physical side of things. People know this is me, I'm Sicilian. This is what I am. I'm a female. This is what I do. I'm actually in IT. That's my mundane job. I'm in IT. So these are the things that we actually present in front. But now there's that other part of us that we suppress and we don't focus on. We don't focus on our mental health, because your spiritual health is linked to your mental health. You understand? We don't focus on those subtle things that are not seen. We think that if I hide and pretend like all is well, my life is good, I have the money, I have this good job and everything, I drive the best car and whatever it is, my life is good. And yet inside you're suffering. Even your relationships are pathetic. You're not able to communicate with people, not able to even have a good relationship with yourself. You're hating on others, you got triggers. You're triggered every time you see certain things. You understand? You're not working on yourself. So spiritual health is about you working on yourself, recognizing there's a part of me that also needs my attention. You understand? That subtle side of me that needs it is the attention. That very important part of me, because everything begins in the spirit, manifests into the physical, right? That's why it's very important not to neglect your spirituality. Spirituality, I said, for those that came late. Spirituality is a state of being, state of mind, a state of presence, state of being yourself, right? It's a feeling of connection and alignment to the higher source, higher purpose, right? It can be manifested in you being religious, right? However, being religious is um, focusing on the outside, not on the inside. Being religious is following set rules and steps and dogma that was actually created by whoever. Right? So it's not coming from within you, it's coming from outside. You cannot reach your higher self while you are doing religion. While you are being religious, you cannot reach your higher self because it's not focused on that. Okay. It's not authentically you, in other words. It's like you belong to a corporation or a political party. You get my point, and that's not you, right? So that's what's nice about the fact that you can see the differentiation between the two. Very important. And what I mean when I'm saying these things, I'm not saying that religion is bad or whatever, or spirituality is good. I'm not making comparisons in that way. I'm just trying to see the differences clearly. You know what I mean? And religion has its purpose. It has its role, right? But it can only answer so much. It cannot answer all your questions. Religions are going to crash. It's like going to primary school. It's not like graduating. You get my point? Religion should not be something you get stuck on and stuck in and then live your life. Don't ask any question. You just damn yourself flat and just be like a sheep. As I said in Christianity, you must be the flock of Jesus. You just follow, follow, follow. What does a sheep do? It follows, and a sheep in the still it doesn't cry. It's meek, it's quiet. It gives itself willingly. Right? Now, speaking to the story, right, but also speaking the subtle meaning of what that means. Do you want to be somebody that's following meekly, follow to your part of it without knowing what's really going on, right? Right. So yeah, so I'm not saying that religion is wrong or right. I'm just saying it is something in the game, and it is a concept, and yes, it has its place, and yes, it has its good and it has its bad. Because it does have its good, because religion gives you a sense of belonging for those that need it, that sense of belonging. Right? I belong to the Roman Catholic Church. I belong to the Apostolic Church. I belong to whatever. I'm an Islam. I belong to Jewish uh, religion. You know, it gives a sense of belonging, right? But at the end of the day, it's something outside of you. It's not something within you. It's not something that's coming authentically, right? So I believe that we all belong to one group, universal souls having a human experience. That's what I believe. I believe that we are in union and communication, and we are actually sharing this planet with the animals, with the plants, and other entities that are not human. We're sharing, right? We are in oneness with them because we are everything. Divine source is everything, right? So religion speaks about God. Spirituality speaks about that source, that spark, that vibration, that energy that doesn't have a gender, it doesn't have a face, but it has a frequency, right? A frequency of creation, a frequency of love, a frequency of unity. Mother Gaia is uniting us, right? We depend on Earth for life, right? But then on top of Earth, we are in disorders. We are separated. We're not in union. We're not in oneness. It's caused a balance, an imbalance. It's caused an imbalance, basically, right? So now this imbalance is not only manifested outside by all these strange and scary things you're seeing. We also have an imbalance within each one of us, because there's a collective consciousness and there's a individual consciousness. I have my own individual consciousness, right? Then we have a collective consciousness, and it just goes from individual to family unit to society, and it goes bigger and bigger and bigger till it gets global. Okay, that's how it is. So now remember that what I do now in this moment here, in my space, in my consciousness now, affects and has a ripple effect on everything. Basically, knowing and unknowingly, conscious and unconsciously. So where you are in your life, understand what you're believing, what you're practicing, and what you're doing. It's affecting every single thing. It's affecting all of us. It's affecting the whole game of life here. That's why you need to work on yourself. Spirituality is important. Work on yourself, work on your energy, work on your frequency. Watch what you're eating. Sleep well. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. These are the basic rules of engagements of the bloody game that people don't understand it. It's rules of engagements. We're in a game of life here. You know what I mean? So you have to have those wonderful good rules of engagements, and they're there. And they're not written somewhere like human rules of engagements. Okay, don't do this, don't cross that road, you get fined. Don't do that, you get pay your taxes. That's all the rules of engagement for the mundane game, the capitalist whatever you may call it, right? That has its place, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not grounded in yourself and don't know yourself, how do you play well the game? How do you play the game well when you don't know who you are? You know what I mean? You'll be wishy-washy, pushed by everything. When Trump says something, oh, yes, yeah, screaming, shouting, you start, then you push to hate that party and hate what Trump says and all the other drama. It's all drama, right? It's all drama of the game. It's all there to trigger you. You know, so it's important for you to have spiritual help that can carry you through and understand that all these things are just triggering. They're outside of you. They are part of the game. Makes the game interesting. And they even know it's a game themselves because they're Masons and Freemasons and whatever. You understand? They know the game. They're Illuminati. They belong to these groups. You see my point? And the individual person gets so taken by all the nonsense. Spiritual health is important. Know who you are and understand what's going on here. Understand that everything here is happening for a certain reason. They use all sorts of tools. I mean, the marketing is pathetic. Get my point? So these are things we need to understand. Your spiritual health is very important. Know thyself. Rob, yes, man. I'm like Ebony too. You Ebony, I don't understand what it means, Rob. Hi, Rob. I think you just joined. How are you doing? Which country are you from? Where you at this moment? Where you joining the stream from? Which country are you from? Right? Because I'm from South Africa, and there's a few people from India. There's one guy from India. There's someone from New Zealand. Right? Somebody said they asked me if I'm in Mexico, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm South African. Maybe because of the top that I'm wearing, I think. I don't know. Or maybe my accent or whatever. But I don't speak Spanish. I speak African languages, South African languages, and English, Afrikaans, Zulu, Xhosa. We've got like how many languages? We've got 12. Right? But I don't speak all 12, right? Anyway, there's the interesting facts about me, right? So, guys, Rob, which country are you from? If you feel called to, if you feel comfortable to do so, to tell us and share that information, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get a picture of the different people that I am actually connecting to. Okay, right. So spirituality is very important. Knowing who you are is important. Understanding where you are, right? So understanding this is a game of life. We have to experience it in totality. And the more you push against something, resistance persists, right? What you resist will persist. The more you push against it, the more it will actually grow because you put in a bloody focus on it. You're focusing on it, right? So let us learn to focus on those things that actually add value to this bloody game. Let us focus on things that add value to our own lives. You get my point? Not to say you're going to ignore all bad things, right? It's not about ignoring them. It's about you putting energy on them, focusing is about putting energy, right? So put your energy more on something that's more positive. Yet there is atrocities, yeah. They're all atrocities, right? But at the end of the day, if we keep on focusing too much on those atrocities, we're actually growing them, we're giving them light. Okay, bring your light and shine it somewhere else that's gonna actually add value, right? Because this is how it is. This is what I've got to understand. The very same people that write the laws in the game, in the mundane game, are the very same people that actually do the atrocities. They are the people that actually do all the crime. Undercover, they call it white collar crime and all that nonsense, you understand? So yeah, like for example, a simple thing, concepts of child trafficking. It's a very expensive practice, and if you do that, who can only do that? People with money and wealth, people in high places, you understand? So it's very important to understand that the more we push against it, the more you be an activist, you're not solving anything really because the ones in power are the ones that are doing it. Not just the ordinary people, not just ordinary Jane is doing child trafficking. That's an expensive practice. It's an expensive thing to do. It's horrible and it's expensive because it involves a lot of other things. You understand? If you common sense, you can see, break it down. What will it take for you to run a child trafficking ring, or even a drug um, smuggling or whatever ring, even planting it? I mean, it takes a certain type of person with certain amounts of influence and money, right? So here we are, ordinary people pushing, and instead of focusing on your own game, you've been distractions. Yes, we get distracted by all these things. That's why they have news. That's why they have all these things. You know what I mean? Where they on social media now, they're also showing us all these things so you get to see, right? But try and focus more on things that add value. That's also part of your mental health because it'll keep you stable. It'll keep you focused on the good things in life. Because if you're constantly seeking and only being tuned to low frequency information, that'll affect your mental health. It'll affect your mindset, your worldview. You'll say, oh my God, this world is a horrible place. And each time, algorithm will, when you're online, will connect you to those informations. It is bombardments over and over again. And you don't need that. You don't need that low frequency information all the time, right? So try and I know a lot of people have said this, and I'm saying it, right? It's very important for us to try and keep the balance, right? Keep the balance within yourself as well. Understand there is bad things and all gonna happen, yes, but we cannot solve it by reflecting bad back, by doing bad as well, because we actually not resolving it. We joining, we dropping the frequency of the universe down. We dropping our own frequency down to match because we're trying to solve a problem by lashing out with violence. It doesn't work that way. So if you speak in light and love, this is where religion has failed, mind you. This is where religion has failed a lot. Because instead of religion solving our issues, it actually causes more problems, right? Much more. So you need to understand that your self-development, your spiritual health is important to you, not to anybody else, but to you. You got to do that, your own inner work, understand who you are, understand where you're going, understand that you are divine in all ways. Cultivate your spiritual health. Meditation, very important. Mindful meditation. It grows self-awareness, very important. Self-awareness and meditations go together. Affirmations and prayer. Prayer in a very positive, high frequency way. When I'm saying prayer, prayers of gratitude, prayers of praise. Praise yourself. You, because you're wonderful. There's nobody else like you. You are divine and awesomely created. And stop calling yourself a sinner because you're not a sinner. That's the gaslighting coming from the religion. You understand? Yeah. Very important to know that you're being gaslighted. So you need to work against all that and change those perceptions. Right? Then walk in nature. Right? Walk in nature, spend time in nature. If you cannot walk, plants, be around plants, water and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Have plants in your home, in your room, have a plant. You know, like even having a pet can also help you as long as you're able to take care of that pet. Responsibility, very important. There's a price paid for everything. Every experience has a price, okay? So having the experience of an animal is having you to take care of that animal. Even a plant, you need to water the plant, give it sunshine, right? Everything comes at a price in the game of life, right? Then also journaling is also important. Write things down, write how you feel. You know, when you're doing that inner work, shadow work, if you're interested, you can go ahead and learn more about shadow work. There's so many videos on shadow work, so many, right? Shadow work is important, right? Parts work as well, also important. All these things, I mean, go into it and try different things, you know what I mean? Then service and kindness, like do service when I'm saying services, service, help other people, help the community, help a neighbor, do something that makes people smile. Say hello to somebody on the road. How are you doing? Oh, a long time, I didn't see you for such a long time, nice to see you. It makes the person feel seen. That's also service on its own in a subtle way, okay? Even in a workspace, be helpful to, to people and stuff like that. Late night gamer, hold what? Hold up, what religion are you talking about, man? I'm talking about spirituality, love. Late night gamer, how are you doing? I'm talking about spirituality. Thank you for joining my live. I'm talking about spirituality, right? And I did mention a bit of Christianity. What. But anyway, I've said a lot, so you just join now. I'm not sure if you've been listening. a late night gamer. Which country you from? Where you from, guy? Christianity? I'm not Christian, but I was Christian, right? So I'm talking about spirituality. Are you from Germany? Oh, okay. Germany, nice, nice. Thanks for joining my live. I'm Sissy, life coach, motivational speaker, right? Today I'm talking about spiritual health, right? And then I have mentioned here and there about Christianity, right? And also Islam, but I can't say much about Islam because I never practiced that, right? I've practiced Christianity, but I'm no longer practicing Christianity. I am more of a spiritualist. You can call me that, yeah. Okay. Yeah, and at the moment I'm dabbling into African spiritualism, which is quite interesting. I did the European Celtic magic and all those things, not did it, but I learned, and I tried a few things and stuff, just to get more information, because I'm from mixed descent. I'm what they call, I won't use that word, it was really controversial, what they call colored people. Yeah, I'm a mixed breed. But anyway, yeah, so I kind of dabbled into the Western because I was very interested in witchcraft and learning the cards and the craft, right? And I do practice, but for myself, basically, it's more like a lifestyle. I don't like charge people or consult for people. But anyway, if you're interested in what I'm saying and interested in me per se, go to my bio and read my bio, right? I am actually a coach, a life coach, or even you can call me a spiritual teacher as well, right? That kind of thing. And I help people. I actually consult with that, right? So, but that's just my job. I do as my passion, what I love to do. But my mundane job is in IT, right? Anyway, yeah. So that's what it's all about, guys. So let's talk about the signs of imbalance, spiritual imbalance signs, right? Number one, feeling of loss and disconnection. When you're feeling lost and disconnected to yourself, to life, to the divine, to others, right? Because every single person is a reflection of the source of God, right? Every single person is divine, as an expression of the divine. And the divine can choose to express itself in a negative way too, as well, right? Okay, because we're living in duality, right? Then the second one is chronic dissatisfaction and emptiness, feeling empty. That sounds like depression, right? As I said, that spirituality and psychology are linked. Okay, and then the other one is lack of compassion and gratitude, lack of understanding. Compassion and gratitude, very, that's one of the things that shows that you have a disconnect to your spiritual life. Your spiritual self has an imbalance, and you cannot push it away, because every single person who is human, who manifested in a human body, is carrying a spirit, unless you something else. And I want to go into that now, right? But then let me continue, because there is very variable expressions. Okay, right? Then over identification with ego. You identify yourself with the I too much, with the I, me, my job. I am this. I am a social media influencer. I am a coach. And you identify, then you measure yourself on it so much, and your life is just around that, and you just have this, unhealthy, narcissistic sometimes identifications with your job, whatever it is, right? So those are the four signs of spiritual imbalance. Number one, you feeling lost and disconnected. Number two, chronic dissatisfaction with your life, right? And emptiness, feeling emptiness. Three, lack of compassion and gratitude and understanding. You know, empathy is gone, none of that. And then the last one is the over identification with the ego. You understand? Yeah. So these things are real, right? And there are a lot of people suffering from these type of symptoms, right? And they don't know, and they run to Christianity, they run to religion, they run to whatever, but mostly to religion to get for help, getting help. Other people run to spirituality, right? And looking for a spiritual bypass, religious bypass as well. Okay. They're not really looking to solve their problems. They want like a quick fix. They don't even know what caused the problem. They don't even know why their life is the way it is. Right. So they just want a quick fix. Those are the people that go for chronic readings. They want to know what's going on. Please, when am they get married? Oh, when will I get rich? or why my life is like this, or why my husband is doing this and all those things. Instead of them taking ownership, because you played a role in that game, you have played a role in where you are now, right? Even in relationships, people have this issue whereby they have multiple partners and they don't work out. All the relationships don't work out, and then they say, "Oh my gosh, uh, women are so bad. All women are just out to just use and abuse. Or all women are out to use and abuse." You're not understanding that you are the main character there. You are the common denominator of the whole experience. You are the one that had all these relationships with all these different people, right? And yes, you're saying that there's no good woman. You understand? You're not taking ownership to say, well, maybe I did play a role because I was in these relationships. Did play a role. I chose the wrong person for the wrong reasons. I suppressed my own needs to satisfy somebody else. I'm so desperate to be in a relationship. Or I'm having self-esteem because I don't really love myself very much. So I'm thinking if I have a sexy, beautiful woman with blonde hair and big boobs, then fine, then I'll be accepted by society. She's gonna help with my self-esteem. She's the one that actually makes me feel good. Now, those relationships are bound to not succeed, right? That's what I'm saying. Knowing thyself, very important. Taking ownership all the time, very, very important, guys. Right, so I'm about to now finish off. I think it's an hour, almost an hour. Right, so guys, remember, if you have not as yet, go ahead, don't be shy. Subscribe to my channel. Click on the subscription button, right, so that you can see more of my videos as they come, right? As I said, I'm Sissin, life coach and motivational speaker. I'm also spiritual coach as well, right? I also write as well, but I don't write a lot. I like writing short articles and stuff, so I also love writing as well, right? So anyway, if you feel that my content is something that you can really go into, then go ahead and just like subscribe to my channel, and then you can check and tune into my videos, right? Okay, I think there's no other question here, right? So I hope you guys have a great week further, right? This is the beginning of this week, right? It's Sunday. So go and enjoy yourself, and remember, take ownership of your life, because you only have one life, and your life is your business. Your body is your business. Take care of your body, because your body is your temple. Your body is your ship, as I say. Your body is what makes you experience this experience of third dimensional reality. And you came for that. You came for the good, you came for the bad, right? But do not immerse your mind onto the negative things. Try and immerse yourself in things that give you good feelings, right? Not to say that you're rejecting what's happening on the other end. Yes, bad things do happen, but don't always focus and immerse yourself too much, and stop resisting things. Things will always happen. Bad things are supposed to happen, yeah. Just as way good things are happening, bad things will always happen, because there has to be a balance. The universe is looking for a balance, okay? Looking for a balance. So then you need to understand where you're gonna be putting your focus, okay? Where you're gonna put your focus, how you're going to enrich your worldview as well. Okay. So have a great week further, guys. Let me go. Ciao.